All right, and we are back here on the GSMC Football Podcast. And for the final part of the show, we are now going to take a look at the late afternoon games for Sunday in the NFL, preview them, talk about them, and give you my picks for them. So let's get into them. So we're going to start off with the Commanders and the Cardinals. So the Cardinals coming off of a loss against the Lions, 20-13. Commanders upset victory over the Bengals, 38-33. And right now the over-under is 50. I would take the over in that game. Now, you think it would be that easy because you know what's going to end up happening? It's not going to hit. But the Cardinals are 3.5-point favorites. Now, the Cardinals' defense actually has not been bad this year. You know, they actually, held the Lions in check a little bit. I mean, the Lions, it's not like they blew the Cardinals out. They won by 7 points. I mean, week one against the Bills, I mean, they just couldn't stop Josh Allen. They were, they were up by multiple scores, but, Josh Allen came roaring back. So you can't really, you can understand that. But here, the Commanders, they're riding high after that win in Cincy. And, you got two young mobile quarterbacks here in Kyler Murray and Jaden Daniels. I think we could see a game that's very high scoring. The Commanders, it seemed like they really got it going on offense. And, maybe that's just a product of the Bengals defense not playing well, but, it definitely was. But you also got to give them credit, too. I mean, that pass to Terry McLaurin to ice the game for that touchdown, that was a great play. They got to get him. They got to continue to keep him involved. They're not going to be they're going to have no Austin Eckler in this game, who had that touchdown run early on. So, that's a loss in this game. They're going to feel that. But I think the Commanders keep it within the number. I'll take them with the points. I don't feel great about it, but this should definitely be – this is an underrated game of the weekend with these two offenses going at it. So I like the Commanders to cover, but I actually will take the Cardinals to win. Then you got the Patriots and the 49ers. Patriots are 10.5-point underdogs. They're coming off of that 24-3 loss to the Jets. 49ers coming off of that 27-24 loss to the Rams. I think the 49ers bounce back here. I mean, I said it early on in the show. I do think that even without, Deebo Samuel, without Christian McCaffrey, I'm hoping George Kittle at least plays. I think they'll still be able to win. The Patriots do have a good defense, and that could give Brock Purdy some problems. But, he played well last week. He still got Brandon Ayuk. Jawan Jennings played really well. Had his best game as a pro last week. I think, and Jordan Mason has been running the football well. I think that's good enough here in this game. I think they should be able to get the win, and I think they should be able to cover the number. The Patriots' offense is not good. The 49ers, they should take advantage of that bad offensive line. And again, you do feel bad for Jacoby Brissett that he has to stand back there behind that line. That can't protect him. And the Patriots just could not get anything going last week. I thought maybe they'd be able to run the football a little bit because the Jets were struggling against the run, but that didn't even work. So, yeah, I think this is going to be another tough game for them, going up against a good defensive line that's missing some guys, but I think the Niners, they should bounce back and get the win. Now, if they don't, that's very concerning. That is very concerning if they end up losing this game, but they are at home. So, then another interesting game, got the Raiders and the Browns. The Raiders are 1.5-point favorites. Browns coming off of that 21-15 loss to the Giants. Raiders coming off of a 36-22 loss to the Panthers. And Gardner Minshew has got to play well in this game, otherwise Aiden O'Connell might be starting at some point. The Raiders, that was a disappointing loss for them. That was their home opener. And, against the Panthers, unfortunately, it was just wrong place, wrong time for them because Andy Dalton ended up starting. And if Bryce Young starts, they probably win that game. But Andy Dalton looked really good in that game. But still, the Raiders, I took the Panthers last week, so I'm not really upset about it. But, Yeah, that's a game the Raiders probably should have won. But now they take on the Browns, and this could be a get-right game for them because that Browns offense continues to struggle. It has not looked great this year, and I think that's going to continue in this game. Now, you could say, all right, well, they're banged up on the offensive line. Nick Chubb, they're hopefully getting him back soon. I mean, that will make a difference, but ultimately, what's going to hold this team back from going anywhere this year is the quarterback position. Deshaun Watson has not played well, and I think that's going to continue. And it would not surprise me if he plays really bad in this game. Jameis Winston, maybe he gets the opportunity to start. It would not surprise me. And it's just, you go back to last year, and you see how, look at Joe Flacco coming in, and Joe Flacco played really well for the Browns. He operated that offense better than Deshaun Watson. Guy that got all that guaranteed money, that big contract, he has not lived up to it. And maybe he shows you something in this game, but again, you go back to the Giants game when they got the fumble recovery on the kickoff and he throws that pass to Amari Cooper. Like, that was a great play. But it's just, there's not enough of that. There's not enough of that. And I said that going into the year. It's the consistency is not going to be there. Not only that, it's just Deshaun Watson has not played well. It's not really that he's been inconsistent this year. It's just he hasn't been good. He really hasn't put together a good game. Even though they've, they beat the Jaguars, but look at how the Jaguars are playing. So, I like the Raiders actually to win this game and cover the 1.5 point spread. But again, nothing will surprise me. The way these NFL weeks have gone so far, nothing would surprise me. And then the final game we got here is the Chiefs and the Chargers. Chargers are 7-point underdogs here. So Justin Herbert, I think he might play in this game. Because he left that game early against the Steelers, aggravated that ankle injury, but he might play. But either way, he's going to be compromised in this game. This game is actually very tough to pick because the Chiefs have not played great. They have not. Every single game that they've played has been a one-score game so far. Week 1 against the Ravens almost, scored a touchdown and they would have went for 2. So that could have been a 1-point game or a 1-point win or a 1-point loss. They barely beat the Bengals and they barely beat the Falcons. So I really have not been impressed by what I've seen from the Chiefs offense so far. Well, week 1 they looked good, even though Mahomes threw a bad pick. But against the Bengals, Mahomes wasn't great, and he really wasn't great against the Falcons either. So, I mean, we'll see if this is the game where they get it going. The Chargers, they're still in rebuild mode. If they can't play their style of game, running the football, keeping this game close, it's going to be tough. And Herbert's still trying to work on that rapport with his receivers. Now, Quentin Johnston has looked good so far. Elaine McConkey has scored a touchdown. J.K. Dobbins has looked good. So they do have some playmakers on this offense. But the other thing, too, is now that you think about it, banged up on the offensive line. Their quarterback is banged up. Yeah, it's going to be tough. I'm going to take the Chiefs to win and cover, but I do not feel great about it. I'm 1-2 so far picking Chiefs games. I did pick them in week 1, but that was a low spread. That was 2.5, I think. I took them against the Bengals. They didn't cover that. Then I switched and took the Falcons, and the Falcons, of course, don't cover, even though they had the opportunity to. So it would not surprise me if the Chargers do cover the spread, but I just feel like they're so banged up right now that I don't know. They're not going to be, if they're down multiple scores to the Chiefs, I don't think they're going to be able to come back. And on top of that, like I said, Herbert is compromised. So yeah, to go through it one more time, I got the Commanders with the points covering 49ers, Raiders, and Chiefs. So we'll see what happens. So far, I've gotten 7, 6, 7. Don't be surprised if I end up... Now, I did win last night. But I would not be surprised if it ends up not going my way again. And I end up with 7. Because that's how it was last year. 7, 8, 6, 7, 8, 8. That's how it was. I need a good week. So, and already fantasy's not looking good. I went up against CeeDee Lamb in 3 leagues. So already I'm losing those. I started Devin Singletary in a league. Only got me 4 points. But, the fantasy app says, oh, he's a must start against the Cowboys. And I'm like, yeah, he is, because the Cowboys' run defense hasn't been good. Their defense has not been good in general. And Singletary did not play well. So, we'll see what happens. Hope everybody enjoyed the show today. Make sure to check out all the other shows. Give the other shows some love, like I always say. Any thoughts or comments that you may have, make sure to drop a like. Make sure to subscribe. Leave a comment on our videos. And like I said, hope you guys enjoyed the show today. So yeah, with that is all the time that we have for today. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be back again on Monday, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. And until then, I'm Kenneth Grunfelder, signing off from the GSMC Football Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. Have a good day. Have a good weekend. Enjoy the games. And I will talk to you guys on Monday. Take care.